Or maybe somebody could explain to me the soft tissue that was discovered in a T-Rex bone not too long ago. A lady by the name of Mary Schweitzer made this discovery. I actually communicated with her about it. Turned out that discovery was literally a serendipitous event. They had the long bone, the femur of this T-Rex. They had encased it in plaster Paris. They wanted to take it back to a laboratory.
So you need it explained to you, huh? Well, okay. Out of the two of us, apparently I am the one who bothered to do any research on this matter. So it makes sense for me to walk you through it. Once upon a time, there was a Tyrannosaurus found. A very small one, but it did predate Sue, the T-Rex at the Chicago Field Museum, which is the largest Tyrannosaurus found thus far. Some fossil fragments were selected for routine chemical tests. The acid used to remove minerals from the fossils worked faster than expected and began to dissolve the actual fossil fragments themselves. When Schweitzer and her assistant used micromanipulators to agitate the remains under a microscope, they found that these remains, which were possible blood vessels, along with other tissues, were elastic and soft.
And lo and behold, that block of material, it was too big. It physically would not fit into the helicopter. So she realized they were going to have to break it. They decided to cut it right down the middle. And when they did that, they were able to look inside that T-Rex bone where they found soft tissue, blood vessels, and what she believes may be blood cells.
But the discovery of these soft tissues was not as abrupt and outward as Harrub may have you think. It required some treatment within a controlled and testable environment. They didn't simply snap open a T-Rex femur and have soft tissues spew out of it. What Schweitzer's work has done is not give us a good reason to second-guess everything we know about the age of dinosaurs or the age of the Earth, but rather what we have documented in the rate of fossilization in animal remains.
And friends, you ask any molecular biologist worth their salt at all, they're going to tell you soft tissue, blood vessels, blood cells, they don't stick around for 65 million years.
Well, apparently they did, and they become quite tangible when treated in a laboratory. Given his fundamental misrepresentation of any scientific subject that Harrub has attempted to explain so far, I doubt he is suitable to determine which molecular biologists are worth their salt. If one kept up in the advancements in paleontology, they would have noticed an increase in efforts focused on what is called paleomicrobiology, a field which seems to be more relevant in the study of dinosaurs. One of the reasons this practice of chemically dissolving dinosaur fossils has not been utilized is because gathering, finding, and excavating dinosaurs is a painstaking and difficult process. The last thing you would think to do is dissolve a dinosaur after going through the struggle of removing the specimen from the earth, which is exactly the reason these T-Rex soft tissues were found by accident. If further investigation was done into how these soft tissues were derived, you would find that Schweitzer and her assistant repeated and repeated the same process to procure their samples for verification. They did this in anticipation of scrutiny from the rest of the scientific community, and for the sake of accuracy and establishing hard data. You know, things real scientists strive to accomplish.
A lady by the name of Mary Schweitzer made this discovery. I actually communicated with her about it. Turned out that discovery was literally a serendipitous event.
Since you have been in contact with Dr. Schweitzer, it is a damn shame you haven't done her the courtesy of at least reading her interview with Smithsonian Magazine on the subject of these T-Rex soft tissues. Really, it is the least you could have done if you were going to make a petty attempt at an appeal to authority. But in this interview, she does mention how she grows tired of young Earth creationists, such as yourself, trying to hijack her research and essentially bastardize the significance of her discoveries for the purpose of trying to validate their own inane and flat-out stupid beliefs. Take this one, for example.
It details that all land-dwelling creatures were created on day 6. And in fact, man was created on day 6. If that's the case, and it is, then the greatest amount of time that could have separated dinosaurs for mankind would be, give or take, maybe 23 hours.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I also feel that it should be mentioned that Schweitzer, along with one of my personal heroes, Robert Bacher, the paleontologist who popularized the notion of dinosaurs possibly being warm-blooded, do not fit into the God-hating, bitter, atheist elitist setting out to destroy any religion they can caricature of the modern scientist that has been so shamefully painted by creationist cowards who intend to play the victim card. They are both scientists held in high regard for their contributions to the knowledge of man, and they are Christians. Bacher is even a practicing minister in his church of choice. Both of these accomplished paleontologists certainly don't share Harrub's belief that the greatest span of time that could have separated man and dinosaurs is at the most 23 hours. Harrub can take a lesson from these two individuals and realize that you can have a regard for well-established scientific facts and still be a man of faith. You don't have to resort to being a complete evolution-denying young Earth creation-atard who doesn't grasp the basics of the very theories you seek to oppose.